At the moment, my role is advisory. It's a unique role by comparison to many of the other directors and managers in Aboriginal health. The context of my role is more to provide the advice to the executive and to the managers around what we need to be doing as a collective and within our directorates and divisions for Aboriginal health, so that we're embedding it within the culture of everybody's framework. My involvement in the recruitment of Aboriginal employees tends to be being called in to assist with recruitment panels, selection panels. If I was to provide advice back to managers about recruiting to identified or targeted positions, I would be saying you need to have a senior Aboriginal person within your organisation facilitating the process from the beginning with you, working in partnership with you to, if it's a traineeship or if it's a straight up position vacant, how do you envision that role functioning in the service? Why do you believe it's a targeted or identified position? What then makes it so? How do we then tease that out so that it's reflected appropriately in the position description, so that we're not missing out on those integral parts, that we're actually planning a position. For a manager who's new to a recruitment selection panel, it would be really important for them to consider whether they even have an awareness around Aboriginal recruitment and why we're doing it. Has that individual undertaken the Respecting the Difference training? Have they had those conversations with their management team about the positions that they're working with? Have they had the conversations with the Aboriginal manager in the service so that they're understanding the strategic goals? Respecting the Difference training is actually very vital for managers to take on board, to engage with. It's with everything. If managers don't have the training, staff will shrug their shoulders and go, why should I do it? And aside from that very basic element, it's very, very important for managers to not just engage conceptually, because a lot of people say, well, yes, I respect Aboriginal people and yes, I get it, but to understand how that fits in the world where we're actually delivering services as a team leader, as a manager, and delivering services to our clients, because each of those tells the people that we work with that we actually understand the very nitty-gritty elements of delivering service to an individual. Because that's really where Aboriginal people will come to you from, is saying, I want you to look at me as a person, I want you to look at me as a contributor to your overarching goals and strategies, because my role in this service will help you achieve your closing the gap outcomes.